What is going on, everyone? FreyDCat here. Welcome to the channel. We are looking at some fun decks. We're looking at Mismagius today. Mismagius with Giratina and Mismagius EX, actually. So this is just a fun little deck, being able to use some of the newer cards. We recently got Misdreavus and Mismagius, a different version. We've gotten them before. But what I like about this is, and we'll take a closer look, but let's look at the full list for now. We've got the Misdreavus, we've got Oricorio, the Ghost type, to do basically kind of what Marshadow will do, not for as much damage, but still nice. We'll talk about the individual abilities in a second when we look at the actual cards. We've got Giratina, Mismagius EX, just to give us some options, Pokeballs, red card, Cape, Poison Barbs to do some chip damage. We've got Oak, Sabrina, Cyrus, Guzma, and Silver. Let's take a quick closer look at the cards. So, Misdreavus, most of the time we're starting with her in the active spot. But if not, what is nice is her ability. Once during your turn, when you put this Pokemon from your hand onto the bench, you may have your opponent reveal their hand. So if you start with Misdreavus in your hand and you put it in the active spot to start the game, it does not activate. It only activates when you put it onto the bench from your hand on your turn, which is nice. So if you're starting with it, you don't get that, but if you get another one down on the field, you do get to check your opponent's hand. And it has a 1 energy attack called Will-O-Wisp for 20 damage. Then we go into, it evolves into Mismagius, which is still a 1 energy cost attack. Cursed Pros, at the end of your opponent's next turn, do 90 damage to the defending Pokemon. Now, the opponent can retreat and avoid the damage, but it ends up kind of being a little bit of a, we have to make them make a decision, right? Do they want to take damage or not? They can either have to waste some energy to retreat or kind of basically stall out our attacks, which it works for us because it ends up being stall for us so we can get our Giratina online. Or if they stay in, they just take damage. And we can also pair that with something like the Poison Barb to make them avoid attacking us so we can stay in a little bit longer, and they can take some chip damage. So even if they do take some poison damage, retreat to the bench, we have Cyrus in our deck to bring them back in and attack with Giratina. It would be nice if we could pair this with something like a card that traps the opponent in, but we would need 2 turns to set that up, and they wouldn't overlap, so that would be very strong. Of course, Giratina, we all know what Giratina does. Basically, usually we're starting with, for most of the time, I feel like I'm starting with Misdreavus and Giratina. Misdreavus in the active side, Giratina on the bench. So if we're starting, like first turn, we get to Broken Space below, and then evolve turn 2 with Mismagius, and then, you know, we're putting 1 energy on Mismagius, so then any energy after that we can just put onto the Giratina. So it's not like we're struggling to get energy onto Giratina while we're attacking. We got Pokeballs, of course, red card, of course, for hand disruption, giant cape, usually for Giratina. We got 2 poison barbs, Professor's Research, Sabrina, Cyrus, Guzma, and Silver. Now, what you could do, you might find that you need a little bit of extra damage, so you might want to put a Giovanni or a red in here. You could totally take Silver out and put one of those in, or even take Sabrina out, or honestly, you can even take Guzma out and put one of those in. Play around with it, see what feels better for you. I personally always love having a Sabrina and a Cyrus when I can in a deck, because I feel oftentimes when I want to bring something back in, they don't have damage on them. I have a Cyrus, but I needed a Sabrina, or vice versa, you know? Silver is nice because I like kind of the synergy of this deck. Like, you get to peer at your opponent's hand with Mismagius. If you put it, sorry, not Mismagius, Misdreavus. If you put it down on the bench, you get to reveal your opponent's hand. And with the Silver, you get to check the hand because you're tossing one of their support cards, right? So you can even use that in combination. You could look and decide if you want to use Silver, or you could even look, red card them, and then Silver. You know, so many options. I mean, you don't have to, but it helps to give you a moment where you're like, you know, sometimes when you're like, okay, if I read them, am I helping them? Misdreavus allows you to see what they have, and then like you're like, okay, cool. Red carding is good right here. Or, okay, no, they have nothing. I should not red card or Mars or whatever, you know? Anyway, so that's just my thoughts on that. Let's get into some matches. And guys, please let me know what you think of this deck and what you'd like to see in another video. Check it out. Okay, so we're going second against Grass. We've got Misdreavus, and we got our Mismagius in hand. Not bad. We're going second. Okay, that's probably better because they need 2 energy. We only need 1 energy to attack, and we need to evolve. They'll get 2 energy after we get our evolution. So that's good, because we want to use our attack without taking too much damage. We got our Pokeball with our Giratina. Nice. Bam, bam. Okay, we got our other Giratina. Great. So we're going to put... I like this one better. We're going to put Giratina down. And then... Let's see. We'll actually... we might as well barb up, because they're going to do... What? They're going to maybe do 100. Mismagius has 100. They want to attack us this turn. We could do some damage now, or we could just hold off. You know what? Let's put the poison on. We're going to put the poison on, so we just get some chip damage if we need. We're going to go ahead and put energy onto Giratina, and then Broken Space. I'm going to hold off on the cape for now. I don't want to commit it just yet until I see a little bit more what happens. We will be able to get the Mismagius on the field the next turn, and then do our fun little attack. Another thing that you could even do is Memory Light on Mismagius, because we could have done Will-O-Wisp now, then, you know, whatever, Cursed Prose the next turn. And then if we survive, being able to do another Will-O-Wisp if we had the Memory Light. Let's put down our other Mischievous. Let's take a look at their hand. They've got Brina. Ooh, they've got... Ooh, okay, wait. Brina, Rocket Grunt, X-Speed, Leaf Cape. Okay. They're going to go ahead and do that. That's okay. We evolve. Beautiful. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So do not attack just now, but we will be able to. At the end of their turn. So unfortunately, because they retreated, we don't get to do the damage. We don't get to do the do. We don't do the get to do the do. We will get to evolve here, though. But they did take some damage from our Barb. So we could, if they decide to retreat or something, we could Cyrus them back in if we need to. Let's go ahead and put the cape on to Giratina now. Just in case. And then basically, we need them to stay in. We need them to stay in. I mean, and there's a chance that they don't take us out if they get all tails here. If they attack, even. I think the nice thing is we're putting them on a kind of like a... They have to make a decision because they know they're going to take 90 damage, right? So they're going to keep just swapping back and forth. They are. So they get rid of the poison and then they avoid our attack. So that's the not nice thing. They do have X speeds, but they've gone through 2 of them already. Putting a grunt on us. That's fine. Doesn't work. Next turn, we're going to be able to now swap out and take out their Celebi. And then actually what we're going to do is we're going to Cyrus them and take out Celebi with Giratina because we can. So even though we didn't get off our attacks with Mismagius, we did cause them to like swap back and forth. Basically destroyed their strategy of trying to get more energy onto Celebi because they were trying to protect themselves. All the while we were able to build energy on the Giratina. And then the poison damage did a little chip so that we can take away their charged up Celebi. Nice. Okay. And then we could, at that point, we could have just stayed in with Giratina. Beautiful. All right, I like that. That was nice. That was nice. All right, here we go. Going first. And we have Mischievous and Giratina going first. Let's see, we're going up against a Leaf deck. Grass deck? What do we call the energy again? I don't know. Yeah, we'll do Mischievous in the front, Giratina in the back. And there we go. Okay, Executor is the deck. We're gonna research Oricorio and Mismagius. Nice. Let's go ahead and put the let's put the Oricorio down. And then Barb. They're not gonna be able to attack Mischievous right now. That's fine though. Let's go ahead and Barb. Let's go ahead and Barb. And then we'll Broken Space below. Start getting that energy on the Giratina. Okay, so they're gonna be able to growth support. I wonder if this is like a memory light situation with the Alolan Executor. Or I guess any Executor. Or it could just be regular EX Executor. But I'm assuming not if they have growth support. There would be no reason for that. Unless I'm going to be able to swap out, I guess, a little more freely. Let's do... Should we put the other Mischievous down? Maybe. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that way we can actually get a chance to look at their hand. See what they have. Okay, so they don't have anything really. So they have Will, so they definitely have Alolan Executor. Yeah, we know that. So they have a Will. They have a Memory Light. They have Brina, Lyra, and Research. Okay. They have Brina, Lyra, and Research. So actually, this is kind of a good thing for us because we're going to be able to Mismagius right here. And that's going to be amazing because they basically have to decide if they want to stay in or not. They may have to... We may force a retreat here, if anything. Okay. They do have Will, though. So I could see them going for it. Yeah? Oh, they didn't use Will. Interesting. Oh, and then they... Because of that, they didn't... Because it didn't land, they didn't take the damage. That's sneaky. That's pretty sneaky. That's pretty sneaky. Damn. So basically, we need the Will to go off if we're going to make them take damage. Okay. Ooh. Well, in that case, I want them to Will. In that case, I want them to Will. And then let's go ahead and get... They have a Celestic Town Elders. Let's get rid of the Sabrina. We'll get rid of Sabrina, and then we'll just pros again. And then maybe we'll force them into... They're probably going to try to save the Will for Giratina. So let's just hope that their Will connect. Their, oh, they do Will now. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, it is nice being able to see their hand and kind of do things like that both between Mischievous and Will. They're going to take their 90 damage plus poison damage. And then I think we go ahead and we're going to go into our Oricorio because we can basically guarantee that they go down here. Beautiful. And then let's go ahead and red card. Nice. So we're going to red card and we're going to Oricorio because we do the 80 damage. Beautiful. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now I have no idea what they have now because we just red carded them, so. Okay, they're gonna growth spurt. So now I think what I want to do is... See, it would have been nice to take this out here. If you know what, maybe I should have held off on Mismagius for our EX Mismagius. So let's see. If they don't evolve, they can't take an attack. Wait, at the end of your opponent's next turn, do 90 damage to the defending Pokemon. Oh, they evolved. It's not, no. Okay, so I was wrong. When they evolved the last turn, it wasn't because it wasn't because the attack didn't land, it was because they had evolved into a Alolan Exeggutor, so it negated the thing. Okay, they can still evolve, so there's no point in me going in. So then let's put the Barb on to Oricorio, and we might as well just Guzma right here. I was gonna say I thought that was weird. Just might as well do a little chip damage. Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like, what? No, because I thought it was meant to land. I didn't think it had to be because they got an attack off. Okay. So nice. They're at 130. If this attack lands, they'll take us out, but they'll take poison damage, and then they're within kill shot of Giratina. Ooh, they are going to heal, though, but that's fine, because we got rid of their cape. Ooh, see, now we have them as Mismagius, although it would have been risky to play. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go into Mismagius and go for Curse Pros. Because now they'll take 90 damage at the end of their turn and basically assure us a victory. We're safe against a Sabrina right now because we have Oricorio on the bench with a Poison Barb. Nice. Yeah, they had no choice. Sweet. I like it. I like it. I like being able to kind of peek at the opponent's hand between Misdreavus and Silver to kind of help make some decisions. Really, really fun. Something a little different. You know, the star always ends up being Giratina, of course. But being able to do that 90 damage like allows you to kind of play with different strategies, which I think is kind of fun. We get to basically make them decide if they retreat or not, which can actually work in our favor more than it doesn't, I think. So we can kind of force some special decisions from them. So this is fun. I don't think we really got to see the Mismagius EX. It is a nice option early on. If you get it and you can take out some weaker mons right away. But I think generally like the best strat is to get the Giratina pumped up as much as possible while we have the Misdreavus on the in the active spot, becoming a Mismagius, and then just attacking with Mismagius when we can. Yeah, the fact that the Mismagius is such a low energy cost is great because then we don't have to worry about wanting to break in space below all the time. We can just put our extra energy onto Giratina. Yeah, so this is fun. If anything, like I said, you could totally take out Silver or whatever you choose for maybe like a Red or a Giovanni, especially with Giratina being able to do 130 damage. Being able to hit that 140 might be preferable to take out things like Suicune. Yeah, so that might be a better thing to do. Or you could take it like, I kind of like having Silver in this deck because it kind of just complements the Mismagius nicely. So and the Guzma can come in handy, right? But I don't think it's the most. Maybe it's not the most essential. It really just depends on if your opponent's running tools, right? So maybe you go with either Sabrina or Cyrus. Maybe in this case you could drop Sabrina. I think Cyrus would be more important if you do manage to get the 90 damage from the Mismagius off onto an opponent, then you can bring him back in with Cyrus and clean up with something else. And then I think maybe Sabrina has the lowest cost. I always like running a Sabrina and a Cyrus together, just based on the situation. You know, you never know what you get. So yeah, that is the deck. Guys, let me know how you liked it. What you would change, if you would change anything. Test it out. Probably not great for ranked. A little, you know, a little chancy, but if you want to chance it, go for it. Giratina is always super, super strong. Yeah, if you liked this one, check out some of my other videos coming out, and I believe I should have just released a Galarian Cursula video, which also uses Giratina, the true star of any deck, I think, at this point. But I'll see you guys next time. Good luck in ranked, and have a great one. Bye.